radar, and this one is Inox Wind. This is because of the bunch of measures announced by the central government to improve or to increase the prospects for renewable energy. Inox Wind's director Devansh Jain is joining us to speak about the company's prospects. Devansh, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. One hears about multiple tailwinds, but is it that the business environment has gotten better for wind energy companies like yours? If yes, in what way?
Hi, good morning. So certainly the environment has improved. I think this government has put a huge thrust on the renewable sector. Having said that, I think there are a couple of things that the government has done to boost prospects for companies like ours. We've seen an age-old policy initiative, which was accelerated depreciation benefit, which was withdrawn after being around for about 15 years, come back. That was a sizable market, and historically the entire wind sector depended on that market. That's been reintroduced. I think the second piece that's happened is this entire vertical where IPPs and utilities come in and invest big time in the sector. That's got a huge fillip with the government being so pro-renewable energy. And we see that by way of the generation-based incentive being reintroduced. We've seen that multiple states have now come out with multi-year tariff policies. We've seen tariffs improve to a certain extent, which is increasing or making certain investments in renewables now fairly viable. The other piece that we've seen within the sector is in the last budget, in the previous budget actually, we'd seen all profit-making entities had to spend about 2% of their profits towards CSR. And what this government did was they made investments in renewable energy count towards that. So we're seeing a lot of investments coming into the sector from the public sector units as well. The fact that the government is pushing these guys in any case to invest in renewables, and the fact that they have the CSR obligation is doubling up to lead to these guys coming in. So, we've seen these three sectors really opening up, or three verticals. The accelerated depreciation guys, which are the retail guys, the smaller corporates come back. IPPs and utilities have come in a major way, and the PSUs are coming in a slightly significant way. Just one more thing I'd like to add. What's also happened is we've now seen loans being made available. So historically, maybe 2 years or 3 years ago, most of the banks had, reached their quotas where they could no longer lend to the power sector. I think given the other woes in the power sector, which, obviously with the new government, a lot of that is being cleaned up. But I think there are very limited new investments taking place on that front. So we're actually seeing the likes of PFCs, the RECs, the IFCs, so on and so forth, really come in and provide large-scale funding and multi-year funding to renewable energy projects. So I think all these things put together is really giving a huge fillip to the sector.
Even for banks, actually, now renewable has become a part of priority sector, so a little bit of window opens up.
Okay. Devansh, hi, morning. As of the month of June, what is the order book that Inox Wind is sitting on? And what is the realistic trajectory of order inflows that one can expect over the next 2 to 3 years?
Again, I wouldn't be able to share what our order books as of June is. We share that at the end of every quarter.
Sure.
And in our analyst call in May, what we had said our order book was at about 1,400 odd megawatts.
Okay.
We will be announcing our Q1 results shortly. I'll be able to talk more about that at that point in time, but we should be virtually somewhere around that number. With respect to order inflows over the next 2 to 3 years, you see, this is not a sector where you can build up order books for the next 3 or 4 years, simply because this is something which depends on policies. And policies typically, historically, had been for 6 months or 1 year. And now we've seen multiple states come out with, let's say, 2-year policies and 3-year policies. So to that extent, you'll probably see order books which would be for 1.5, 2 years at most. I believe Inox Wind has the largest order book in the sector at this point in time. But, we would expect to have an inflow of about 1,000 to 1,500 megawatts year on year, which we would be implementing over the course of that year or over the next additional quarter or so.
But Devansh, how far can policy push? What we understand is that in any case, the power distribution companies are not buying any extra power because they don't have any money. So IPPs, even in the conventional energy space, are saddled with power which they are not able to find buyers for. How does your arithmetic compare? I mean, not yours, wind energy compare in terms of cost of per unit? And are there buyers for even wind energy?
So I think two pieces to it. First, I'll talk about the cost of energy, and then I'll talk about buyers. So I think if you look at cost of energy, I firmly believe wind energy has reached grid parity, probably cheaper over the longer term. I think the difference is how you view it or how you approach renewable energy. I think many people view renewable energy as, for example, if you're buying power at about 5 rupees, there'll be like thermal powers available at 3.5 or so on and so forth. What you forget is that when you tie up wind energy, it's a power price for the next 20 to 25 years. There are no escalations. There's no other cost. Everything is built into that 5 rupees. In thermal power, what people forget conveniently is...
I don't have to be convinced. Devansh, I don't have to be convinced. I'm only asking you, are you finding a buyer out there?
Again, I think most states have this mandate when need to procure X% of power from renewable energy. So to that extent, there are PREF tariffs which prevail in most states. And to the extent of them being short of their RP obligations, yes, they are signing PPAs. But yes, what we're facing in some of the states is where, for example, the target is, let's say, 6%, and they cross 6%, they stop buying this power. But I think there are multiple states in India. For example, states like Andhra Pradesh have just opened up. States like Madhya Pradesh have just come into the renewable energy groove. I think these are the states where you're seeing a lot of momentum in terms of procuring a lot of space still left to set up renewable energy projects. Some of the more mature states like Maharashtra and Rajasthan to some extent are only now buying power such that they continue fulfilling the RP obligations.
Okay. So because of all the positives that you alluded to and this 1,000 to 1,500 megawatts of visibility that you have over the next couple of years, how much can your operational profile improve? Your margins have actually improved substantially in the fiscal gone by to almost 16% from 10% earlier. How much further incremental growth do you expect on your margins?
Well, again, historically, we were at about 13 to 14%, even 16% and 20% 1 year. I mean, we're really a 4-year-old organization, so as to say. We had a blip in 13-14 when you talk about that 10% margin, which kind of normalized to about 16% or 17% to be precise in the last financial year. Well, our aim and our intent is to take this up closer to 20%, and I think that's what we are working at. Okay. We have a whole host of measures which we're implementing. We're looking at larger turbines, larger rotor diameters, higher turbines with higher hub heights. We're constantly working to bring down the cost of energy such that we achieve, we go below, and the cost of energy keeps going down. Okay. That IPPs make higher returns, and at the same time our margins keep improving. But I think 20% is what our aim is. I hope over the next 1 to 2 years we should be getting to that number.
Okay, Devansh, very quick question before we let you go. Sun Edison bought Continuum. Is anyone speaking to you? Any private equity guy at least?
Again, what they bought was an IPP platform. We're a wind turbine manufacturing company, a turnkey company where we develop projects for people like Continuum. If you recall, we actually signed the largest deal with Continuum last year, which was a 170 megawatt project. So we continue to work closely with Continuum and Sun Edison. But we just did an IPO about 2 months back or 3 months back. We have substantial cash available. I think we are not an IPP platform. Okay. We're a manufacturing company, so PE wouldn't talk to us from that perspective.
Right. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for joining us.